Alright, let's have a look at minor subdominant. Subdominant minor changes. What this means, I'll give you a brief description of what this means. We're going to use the B flat blues. And we'll probably really be talking about a jazz blues here, so instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, which is our standard 12-bar blues. Bar 9, bar 10, 11, and maybe on the 12th we'll have a turnaround. A jazz blues would be more like this. Maybe turnarounds like that. And other sorts of crazy superimpositions. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about something like that, which is a bit more loopy. And I'll probably do a lesson solely on that, because I want to talk also about secondary dominance and why certain movements really work. But what we're going to concentrate on now, and this is for Jonas from Sweden, who asked this question this morning. What we're going to really look at is, and hopefully be able to answer your question, is this chord here in the key of B flat. We have this chord here. Now, if we're talking about B flat major, sorry, not the dominant blues thing, which doesn't have any, particular resolve point. It's not strongly in any one key, even though you can use a, to sort of bluff your way through most of the chords. But if we're talking about really getting inside these chords, and in particular a subdominant minor chord change, we need to have a look at the structure of the B flat major scale. We have this chord as our 1 chord, that's our 2 chord, our 3 chord is D minor, and our 4 chord, which is where we're going to sit for a little bit, is E flat major. Now a very standardly in classical music, a very poignant and beautiful and sad change is to take the 4 minor, and still thinking about this key center, the B flat major key center, take the 4 major chord, E flat major, and make it into a minor chord. And there's this 4. That note G moves down to a note G flat, and we get this very sad sound. But then it's resolved, so we get a feeling, a cadential resolve there. Anyway, so in jazz we might do the same sort of thing inside of the actual progression of the blues, which is they go up to the 4 chord for 1 bar, and back down to the 1 chord, and maybe a little turnaround, F minus, B flat 7. Now here we're going to go 1 bar of E flat dominant, and 1 bar, which is 2 beats, so I suppose on each chord, but 1 bar really of E flat minor. And we're going to get this sound. I'll just play it now so you can hear it. Here we go. And there's this feeling there of the tension with the note B flat. That G flat sound. So just that note is very important, and the reason is because we're used to hearing, if we're going to hear any note around that register, it's going to be this note. Even in a blues, we've got that sort of sound. But here we've got a moment, and it's not a true modulation because it's only momentary. It doesn't like go and actually modulate to the D flat and then sit there for a little bit, maybe, which it does in other tunes, right? There's lots of jazz changes where you have true modulation, but this is more transitional, and can also be called, I suppose you could say that it's oh no, it's not actually, no, yeah, okay, cool. So there you go, that's the explanation of that. And hopefully that's gives you a little bit more understanding there, Jonas. Now, next I'm going to talk about some of these secondary dominant functions, and how they can help us in a tune like a blues, or even different sorts of jazz compositions or our own compositions.